There we go. Good evening. Hopefully, everybody can see me and are starting to find it online. Okay, we are set. Welcome this evening. We are at Somerset Ridge Vineyard and Winery, and I'm sitting here with Cindy. She is going to be with us tonight. This is our first in person with guests and virtual. So, anyway, so if you are on, please go ahead and let us know that you're here so we can see comments and know that you are
Heckle
with us.
Patty.
Yeah, that would be good too. All right, so just for those of you that have not been with us yet, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This year has been a little bit crazy, and with even before the pandemic, our life kind of took a crazy turn. And so, with the health crisis and getting things moving forward, we had many people that were amazing to us. And so, this gave me the opportunity to pay it forward in a way that I could. So, that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, all
Well,
right,
I'm
here we
glad
go.
you asked me to participate.
Yes,
I'm glad to have you out in the vineyard.
Very good. Speaking of vineyard, you guys just finished harvest. So tell me about
So
harvest.
we did. All over the northern hemisphere, wineries are starting harvest. We're just completing it here in the Midwest. We have about 8,000 grapevines here on our vineyard in Miami County, Kansas. We're about a mile south of the Lewisburg cider mill for those of you who are out in the rest of the country. And you might have heard of the Lewisburg cider mill. They make delicious, delicious cider, and they're only about a mile away. So we're just finishing up grape harvest here. And when you asked about doing this, I thought, okay, well, sure, it'll be an adventure. Let's do it. So that's why we were late. We were harvesting the grapes, but we got it done.
Very good.
So we've got a lot of wine to drink tonight.
Yes, to taste.
And thanks to you and to all your very lovely friends, people ordered wine to be shipped out all over the country.
Yes.
We've got a whole group of folks here that ordered wine. And so we thought it would be fun to do a virtual tasting and kind of have a relaxing evening.
Yes, and it's beautiful out here.
It is gorgeous,
so
isn't it?
If you haven't been here, this is amazing. And you can kind of see behind us a little bit. The vineyards are over that way that you can't see as much, but you'll have to come out here and see it in person because it's amazing. We came out on a weekend, enjoyed live music, sat, relaxed. We came on a day that was like 95.
Oops.
Yeah. But it was still amazing. We sat, the fans were blowing, and then we came last weekend just to try again. And we sat, it was gorgeous. It was 70 degrees,
there
75.
you go.
It was beautiful.
Well, good. Well, I hope we have a lot of wine lovers out there. So here's the way we did this. We offered up people the opportunity to order a semi-sweet wine selection. So in it was a semi-sweet German-style white that we call Oktoberfest, a very popular semi-sweet red called Buffalo Red. And then there was an option to add on a dessert wine and a hard cider. Yes. And our dry wine drinkers selected a dry white. In fact, we'll start with that. So it's called Chardonnay. I thought we'd start with that tonight. Typically, if you were having a tasting, at your own home, you're typically maybe setting a bar out and then guests pour themselves. Or if you're really a super fancy host, you might say, "Hey, what can I get you tonight? I have a Chardonnay, I have a Pinot Noir, and I have a Riesling. What do you prefer?" The thing we find is that wine drinkers, it's really not about red wine or white wine. That is not it at all. It's really about, do you like a sweet wine or a dry wine? Okay. And then typically what you would do, you'd start with something lighter bodied first, and you'd get bolder and bigger as we go. Okay. So we're going to start with a crisp, dry white called Chardonnay. And I'll pour for you first. I put 2 glasses here for us. We'll pour one for the whites and one for the reds. So Chardonnay, everybody's heard of Chardonnay. You've probably had 1,000 glasses of boring Chardonnay somewhere in your life. So Chardonnay is actually from the Chardonnay family, and it's a cross with another French grape. And so the name of the vine is actually called Chardonnay, and we make two different wines out of this particular grape. And the one we chose tonight, you'll notice the sunflowers on the front. It's very Kansas. This is really like our version of a Midwestern Sauvignon Blanc.
Nice
Oh,
and close.
show it, Vanna. I
There we
like
go.
it. Good job. Good. So, so I would love to have everybody maybe have a little sip of that and tell me what you think. Now, just real quick, those of you who like sweeter wines, this is not your favorite wine, but do not worry, we're going to get to that here in a minute. Those of you who like dry wines, this I think you'll enjoy it.
Very good.
So there is something relaxing about just sitting back, opening a glass of wine, and enjoying a conversation with friends. I know for you and I, we made the decision to, even though we've planned this all by phone, you've come to the winery several times, we're sitting far apart.
Yes.
You know, we've had masks. We are making sure that we're doing the right thing. But you know,
Our guests are distant.
our guests, they're out there. There's hundreds of them. But you know, it's a fun thing to do, and I think during these times, particularly, having time with your friends is a big deal.
Yeah.
And if it takes doing it virtually,
Absolutely.
oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you got to do it.
And we've been doing a lot of virtually.
So that's the crisp dry Chardonnay, and no residual sugar. It's bone dry.
Mhm.
So definition of a dry wine, nice
Okay.
and clean. And we actually finished this one in a stainless steel tank, no oak aging. The other wine we make out of this grape, we do age in oak. And it would be fun one of these days when everybody's back and we have some time, taste the same grape side by side, stainless
wow.
steel versus oak, because I think you learn a lot when you do that.
Okay.
You really understand what somebody means when they say, oh, it's finished in oak. It's barrel aged for 10 years. You'll know.
Because I would need the education to figure that out. I don't
Well,
have
good.
that.
Well, that's why
That
we
would
do
be
this.
fun.
That's why we do this.
So we've got Jean is joining us, which is my sister. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Jean.
Carmen is here during a hurricane. Stay safe. She's in Florida.
Oh,
And
my
Lisa
gosh.
loved the dry white, she said. She's in Maryland. Yay.
Yay.
Very good. So we have
Thank
people
you.
all over Central Kansas, Florida, and Maryland.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so speaking of Central Kansas, we have about 8,000 grapevines here on our Somerset Ridge property in Miami County. But we have other vineyards throughout the state. One in particular called Osage Springs that is down in south central Kansas, kind of near Coffeyville.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And my Lord, the fruit is so beautiful. And next time we do this, let's make a point to taste the barrel-aged Chardonnay because it comes from that Osage Springs vineyard.
Oh, fun. Okay.
And it's really ultra delicious. It'd be fun to try.
Very good.
Good. So these glasses
Vanna
that
made
I'm
the-
pouring, I'm pouring into. I thought about maybe chatting a little with you about wine glasses.
That would be wonderful.
My hands are not that big. I happen to enjoy having a glass that's easy for me to hold on to. This is it looks like a small glass. It's stemless. It holds 9 ounces of wine, and that's kind of deceptive, isn't it? Because you think about a restaurant doing an average pour of 6 ounces.
Oh, wow.
So that's why when you come to a winery, we put the logo to help us when we're pouring for you, so that we know where on the logo that the pour goes to be able to pour a 6-ounce pour. A white wine, if it was a hot day, I would have chosen a glass with a stem, because the idea of that is you hold a wine that you want chilled, you hold it by the stem so that you don't heat it up.
Okay.
You can also just use a stemless glass just because you like it. But originally, that was the idea. If it was a wine to be served at room temperature or cellar temperature, it'd be perfectly fine to hold it by the bowl, maybe a red wine, and it would get it to warm up, release the aromas a little bit. So, but for a nice chilled white, especially if it was a hot day, I would have selected a glass with a stem.
Okay, so question then.
Yeah.
Does it matter? Because people talk about the shape of the glasses for different wines. So is that a big difference or no?
I will tell you, it turns out it's quite a big difference.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think you should ever believe anyone who tells you that it's a big difference. I think everyone should learn it for themselves. And one of my favorite things to do, and one of my favorite wine glass brands is called Riedel.
Okay.
And they will do a an interactive event where you taste different wines, and they'll say, "Hey, we're going to pour this in our Chardonnay glass," and the design of the glass is so that it becomes kind of like a megaphone for the oak. Oh, now we're going to try a Pinot Noir, and you'll notice the shape is completely different.
Okay.
And it has to do all with the aroma and where the wine lands on your tongue and all kinds of things. And it sounds to me, especially since the glassware is expensive, it sounds like such hocus pocus. And then you're there at the event, you go, I cannot believe it. This is the real deal. It's absolutely true. So if you're at a winery, a lot of times though, they'll have one or two different glasses, one for whites, one for reds, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Now, if you're going to go and open that $2,000 bottle from that your Uncle Benjamin Franklin left you in the basement, well, then get some fancy stemware. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think it's incredibly critical.
Okay.
But I will tell you, from having tried it and done it back to back and being a non-believer, boy, I learned a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
How'd you do on the Chardonnay? We do okay?
Good. Yeah.
Good. So let's do this. It's always more enjoyable to do the dry wines first before moving on to a sweeter wine.
Sure.
I'll give you an example. I love this wine. I think it tastes great, nice and crisp. It's fruity. If, however, we had tasted the dessert wine first, and then we went back to the dry wine, I can assure you this would have tasted tragically awful. And it doesn't have to do with wine. It has to do with you. So let's do this. Let's go to another glass, and let's try a little ruby red. Now, this is for the dry wine drinkers. While the Chardonnay was one grape in the bottle, this is going to be a blend. Cabernet Franc and a grape called Somerset. And then this one's finished in oak. So that first Chardonnay, remember we chatted about stainless steel all the way? Now we'll go with some oak, and it might be interesting for you to try that and see how it goes. All right.
Michelle said, I love anything dry.
Lovely.
Carmen, be safe, she says. Looks lovely at the winery.
Some?
It is lovely here.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carmen hanging in there, drinking wine and listening. Very good.
Nice. I like it. Yeah.
Very good.
So any kind of a wine that has been finished in oak, sometimes you'll see people swirling. A Chardonnay could have been finished in oak, and oftentimes is. This wine has been finished in an oak barrel, and sometimes it's nice to swirl, oxygenate the wine a little bit. Or you used to hear a lot about people, don't forget to open the bottle of wine, an hour in advance.
Let it breathe.
Let it breathe. I'm just trying to make my clothes match most days. I mean, remembering when to open the wine, that is like that's advanced. So let's try a little ruby red. Cabernet Franc, Chamberson, both of these grapes grow beautifully here. We just finished grape harvest on both of these. And let's see what you think.
Okay. Your video from the harvest was beautiful as well.
Thank you.
That's very cool.
Oh, good. I hope we can send it out to people and let them take a look, because what we're drinking here would be grapes from the previous year's harvest.
Okay.
At least. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, Denise said 100% a sweet girl. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, we're getting to
sweet
it.
girl and sweet wine girl.
Yeah. I like it. We can do it. Part of wine is about taking time to try enough different things so that you know how to, number one, walk into a wine store and select a bottle of wine that you'll enjoy, or when you're going to a restaurant and looking at the wine menu, which can be intimidating.
Yes.
And to me, there's nothing more irritating than ordering a $12 glass of wine that I don't even enjoy. That is just like, are you kidding? So I think it's important to try enough wine and to learn to have the vocabulary to go in and ask for a wine you're going to enjoy. So, for instance, a Pinot Noir drinker is typically, it's a dry wine drinker, but they don't like a big heavy cab, maybe less of of all the oak tan, and something a little lighter bodied. So I think trying a lot of wine, and you learn as much about the wines you don't enjoy as the wines you do, right? You can maybe know about a region, you can know about a grape variety, you can know about a sweetness level. Yeah. And I think particularly when you're at a restaurant, asking the wait person, hey, tonight I think I'm in the mood for something lightly sweet and bubbly, or I'm in the mood for. Those are the things you want to be able to say so they can narrow down for you. They should know all the wines on that menu. And typically I've found that if they then recommend something to you and it's absolutely not your thing, they're so happy to exchange that out for you. And that's a better way to do it. That's a better way to do it.
That's helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
So we wondered what the sunset would look like behind us. We were trying to figure out how to position the camera, but the vineyard is back that way, and the sunset's that way, and we were hoping it would look pretty for when you tuned in.
Yeah. And Lisa says, "What's wrong with a big body cab?"
Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing, sister. Good work. Very good. So I know here in the audience we do have quite a few semi-sweet wine drinkers. Are you up for pouring a little of that? Okay. So this next wine, again, we'll do the white wine first. It's called Oktoberfest, and it is a semi-sweet German-style white. It's from a grape called Traminette. And if you're a little bit of a wine nerd, you will know that word Traminette comes from the German grape family Gewürztraminer. And those are typically German white wines, and they're at least semi-sweet, and they're quite delicious. So we're very proud of this wine here at Somerset Ridge because it actually won the National Jefferson Cup Award. It's one single grape in the bottle, finished back in stainless steel. Okay. That ruby red, we've gone to oak. Now we're back to stainless steel, so it's nice and clean, fruity. Pour that around for everybody. I'd love to have
this one is.
Yeah.
There we go.
Catch the aroma. Aroma is so much a part of taste. So I would say, that's the other thing. If you're out at a wine event or you're at a wine bar or a winery, you'll see people. I mean, it's quite aggressive. You're don't. That's embarrassing. Don't do that. But you want to get the whole aroma, and I really like this wine. I really enjoy the grape that my husband uses to make this wine. Traminette. We like it so much, and it grows so well here that we actually make 3 different wines from this particular grape. Okay. And the key is when we harvest it. So if we were going to have the drier version of this, it would have been harvested earlier in the season, a couple weeks. The semi-sweet a little later, and then the late harvest dessert wine yet multiple weeks after that. Because when you think about it, the sun shines down on the grapes, and the sweetness level goes up, and so when you harvest the grape, the sugar level is significantly higher. Yeah. What do you think of this?
I like more sweet. So.
You are my semi-sweet wine girl. Okay, good. Good. Yes, good. How are we doing out here? You like it?
Very good.
Yeah. Good.
There.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you notice how good that would be if you had anything spicy. If you were having Thai food or spicy Chinese food, anything with a little spice to it, that light bit of sweetness really helps to offset that, and it's a nice, delicious combination.
That's what I'm trying to learn, the pairing a little bit.
Yeah. You got to try a lot of pairings to figure it out.
What was this name again?
Oktoberfest. Yeah, this is Oktoberfest we're drinking. German style white.
Okay.
And those German immigrants all came to the Midwest and did such an amazing job and bringing the grapevines from the mother country, and all along the Missouri River. They thought that looked very much like home, the Mosel and the Rhine, and
with a name like Brockschmidt, we understand.
You do understand. I like it.
Very good. Yeah, I'm more of a sweet person. I like the other though more than I thought I would.
Yeah,
because I did like the dry, but I'm drawn
you have an
to
affinity
the
for this.
I do.
So the other thing you might find, if you think you're a semi-sweet wine drinker, that's your primary gig. To have a glass of dry wine when you're having a meal will really help you. it won't seem like you're just holding on to a glass of dry wine and you just, every sip, it's just the wine. But the food and wine combo can really make that very nice. And you'll find that you can drink a drier wine than you would have thought if you're having it with a meal. Yeah.
Very good.
Good. So that Oktoberfest, that's all over the state of Kansas. Sells very well. People tend to like it, but I will tell you this: it's not as popular as the next wine we're going to try, and that's the Buffalo Red. You've had that. You like that one.
I do.
Good.
Very good. Do we need
All
to?
right, well, let's do it.
All right.
So, okay, now you and I are in the vineyard. Do not try this at home. There you go. We had a little extra wine in there. Okay.
I'm afraid I'll drop the glass.
No, you're fine. Ready? Woo! It's empowering, isn't it? All right, here we go. So we're gonna have a little Buffalo Red.
Kind of feel a little guilty doing that.
Well, there you go.
Well, here,
Hold
hold
that
it
up. Okay, so that's Buffalo Red.
Buffalo Red.
So that wine is available in hundreds of retail stores throughout the Midwest, and all of these wines are available certainly online at somersetridge.com. But
So
yeah,
we have this both as the wine, and I believe, is this what they also made with the slush?
oh, I remember you like that.
I
You had a
did.
glass of frozen sangria.
I
that day.
did. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was quite tasty.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it was a
Plus, it
hot
was
day.
so
It was a hot
hot.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so hot that it felt very refreshing.
Good. I'm so glad. Okay, so and I'm peeking out at the folks that are here joining us in person. I want to know what you think about this because my semi-sweet wine drinkers, it's very hard to find a red wine that you can enjoy if you like a semi-sweet wine, and I think that's why Somerset, the Somerset Ridge Buffalo
Agreed.
Red. I think that's why it sells so well. When our distributor calls and makes an order, that they might order 3 pallets of this and 40 cases of something else and 30 cases of something else. I mean, pallets of it. I
So,
think it's because it's unusual.
Carmen had a good question. Do you
Yeah.
ship out of state?
Yeah, we do. And the way to find that out, the ability to ship has to do with the state that the wine is going to. Utah, no, it's a felony. Like I'm in stripes, it's bad. We cannot ship there. But other than that, there's like 42 states we can ship to. And that's all right on the website at somersetridge.com. Upper right corner, you can hit order online and everything's listed right there,
Very good.
including other wines that we didn't have time to try tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. What would be, would that be sweet enough for me? Denise is asking. Yes, I think it would be. She likes sweet.
Okay, it's like a fruity glass of sangria.
Yeah.
And if your neighbors come over and maybe you realize, oh my gosh, we need to make this a party quick. And suddenly you've got a bunch of people, one bottle of wine is going to go so far. What you could do, you could turn this into a sangria right away. You could add in the glass, put it over ice and add sparkling water, slice some citrus. Fabulous. You could, if you have advance notice they're coming, you take a big glass pitcher, rinse and slice up a bunch of oranges particularly, and lemons and limes. Slice, get it in the bottom of the big glass pitcher, pour in the whole bottle of Buffalo Red. And let's say around the house, it's fall. You might have, you have 2 cups of apple cider, or you have 2 cups of cherry juice, or grapefruit juice, whatever, orange juice. You could make that into some really delicious sangria. And the key to sangria is get that going in the pitcher well in advance of the event. Take a big wooden spoon and mash down on that fruit and let it release. It's delicious. And and if you have some left over, if you're lucky, it'll be way better the next day than it was the day you served it.
What's the recommended amount of time? Like a day?
Overnight is great. And if for some reason you've got even some left the day after, it's just like nectar of happiness. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use that. Can you quote you?
Yes, you may.
I love it.
Yeah.
Jean said she's having the Buffalo Red, and she paired it with her chili cheese dog.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, it works.
You do what you do.
Yeah, she said LOL. Sharon, the Oktoberfest is delicious. I love German style wines.
Good.
Florida. Carmen, I'm pretty sure it goes to Florida. We can check.
Yes, it does.
I will see. There you go. I'll check for you. And Kay said, I love Oktoberfest with curry, like butter chicken.
See how smart that is. Remember, we commented about if you had something that was lightly spicy, how a lightly sweet wine is such a great pairing with that. A Riesling, the Oktoberfest, delicious. That's a really smart thing. Big grizzled dry wine drinkers tasting a semi-sweet pairing, wine pairing with a curry or a spicy Tide. That knock everybody over. It's fabulous.
Sharon said, you're right about having a hard time finding a good semi-sweet red. The Buffalo Red is perfect. So, yay. And
Yay.
Renee said, Lisa, you make it the next time we're together.
Perfect.
The sangria is, starting now.
Yeah.
Have it ready to go.
I like it.
These teachers are having and all school personnel are having quite a week going back. So,
oh my gosh,
might
if
be
we
a
have
good thing
teachers here, I should have just doubled up the wine on their orders just as my gift. Oh
I
my
think
gosh,
there's some that are watching.
what is happening in the world? I saw my neighbor. She has 3 children under the age of 10, and I mean, she I think she's aged 10 years.
Yeah, so we understand and we're sorry that if that's you, you're
Yes.
not joining us here, but we're soaking it up for you because it's gorgeous. I'm really sorry.
Good.
Just walk outside and soak it in and pretend you're here. So it's lovely.
Okay, so let's just review. We did a crisp dry white. That was the Chardonnay, right? We did a dry red blend. That was the ruby red.
Ruby red,
right?
Okay.
Then we did the semi-sweet German style white. That was the Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
And then we chose a semi-sweet red, the Buffalo Red, and
Yes.
everyone liked that. That was good.
Yes.
Now, there was a bonus opportunity to add on if you wanted to. And let me tell you what we did. And I'll tell you what I was thinking when we selected these. They're both actually wines by the true definition, but I'm going to call one a cider and one a dessert wine. So what we did is we said, hey, if you'd like to, maybe add on a bottle of the Lucky Dog hard cider. Yeah. And so that's super fun. That is made with a blend of 3 culinary apples from the cider mill right down the road from the Vineyard. And they do such a great job. And it's about 8% alcohol. So it's by definition a wine. It's made from fruit and it's of the percentage of alcohol to be called a wine. But it's bubbly. It's really good. It's a hard cider.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, but it's not as high in alcohol as a glass of wine. Wine would be more in that somewhere 11 to 15% range, right?
Okay.
So this is 8%. So what I thought we'd do, we're going to open the Lucky Dog hard cider, if you have one, and we're going to open the Citron. And okay. Oh, nice. Okay, you're advanced. So what we'll do with this is the hard cider is actually quite dry.
Mm-hmm.
So my sweet wine drinkers might say, well, why in the world do I need that? Well, you do need it. And it's bubbly, it's fruity, it's delicious. And then what you do, and we'll test this out, what you do, it's almost like a summer shandy. Then if you need it sweeter, you add a shot of Citron, and it's like a summer shandy, but better. And but if you're a dry wine drinker, you totally dig it. Having the cider by itself, and it's super fun. It makes great cocktails. It's low alcohol, lowish. And so you could really enjoy several glasses. It'd be like having, a fine craft beer or a glass of champagne. Well, let's do that. Okay. So what we're gonna do? You got to do that trick again on the white wine. Okay. I should have gotten more glasses. Now we know, but we didn't know that until now. Okay. So let's open the Lucky Dog hard cider, and I wouldn't normally pour myself first, but what I want to do is I want you to see. So bubbly, delicious. I'm going to pour a little bit for you.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, Lisa said, glad your air is not being affected by the wildfires. DC has the smog in the last 2 days. Ugh, yeah.
Both my kids are out in California, so it is a tough situation. My son is the enologist at Deloach. and
Oh wow.
wearing like gas masks and all kinds of things.
All right.
Let's
I'll
pass
share.
that around and see what you guys think. Now, I know a lot of you are sweet wine drinkers, so barely just take a little sip. I want you to get the texture of it. But what we'll do, I'm going to open, while we're chatting, I'll open the Citron, the dessert wine.
Sorry.
What happened?
They're just my Jean said, pour it out. Drink up, ladies.
Drink up, sissies. You sissy girls. There we
That's
go.
my sister giving me a nice hard time.
Good. Good.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa.
So my dry wine drinkers, for sure, everybody maybe just take a little sip of that and let me know what you think. If you're a dry wine drinker, it's super fun, isn't it? Yeah. But my sweeter wine drinkers, you're going to need this. So what we'll do.
It's still nice though. I mean, it is dry, but yeah.
Yes. It won the silver medal at the International Seattle Cider Competition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's really good. Okay. So let's say I was a sweeter wine drinker or I wanted to make a wine cocktail. So I would take my bottle of Citron, and that's why we offered these two together as an optional. And I might just do a oops like that. Oops. There we go.
Very good. So
Yeah.
just so you can see
So look, we made a
Citron.
wine cocktail, but it's really like a little summer shandy. And the Citron is a lemon flavored dessert wine. It's like our version of an Italian limoncello. Our white wine, organic lemons, and brandy made from our grapes. Now, catch the difference in the taste once you add the Citron.
Wow.
You girls just made a cocktail right there in front of me. Look at you. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not have thought to do that. So that's very
So that was why we did that pairing, because the dry wine drinkers could drink it separately, but the sweeter wine drinkers could make it just like they like it. And yeah, and that Citron is brandy infused. That open bottle of wine will last when you put the cork back in it and put it in your fridge. That will last a good long time because it's brandy infused. I thought we might.
made the comment about that when we were tasting. We're like, it's kind of like brandy. So we
Yes.
were right.
Oh.
You did cut off Maggie.
Oh my goodness. What happened back there?
Cut her off.
Our Vanna is pouring.
It went faster.
So what do you now? And if anybody is Citron curious, I would say you could put a little. We could pour a little Citron also in your Buffalo Red and almost make like a hand poured sangria. Delicious, fruity, yum. Adds brandy just like you would if you were in Spain. You'd have a fruit infused brandy in with your sangria.
Nice.
Yeah, delicious.
By itself, it's just intense.
Oh, you tried it by itself.
Yeah.
See, she did.
There you
Rest
go.
it.
I was picking
Good.
I was thinking I get a little here, pour a little.
Oh, good. Well,
They're-
you guys are doing great.
They're experimenting. Very good.
I like it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's see if we can turn down a little bit.
Oh, it's like getting a makeover. Oh, good. I look a lot better now.
That way they can see a little more of the.
Yes, they can see the
beautiful
background.
sunset.
It is nice. It is nice.
Very good.
Well, good. Well, look what we've done.
Yeah, we covered a lot of
We've
information.
covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, if you're
Yes.
at home particularly, there's no judgment here. You might drink the whole bottle, but you might not. And I would like to be the giver of information for
Yes,
how to
'cause we were
properly store a bottle, an
Perfect.
open bottle of wine.
Yes.
So one thing, you put the cork back in, or you have a special stopper that you use to make an airtight seal on the wine. And even if it's a dry red, I like putting it in the refrigerator.
Oh, okay.
You lower the temperature and it slows down the aging process on a bottle of wine. Our semi-sweet wine drinkers can get extra days out of an open bottle of wine versus the dry wine drinkers.
So kind of how many days? So if we were going to take one of the bottles and put it back in the, like the semi-sweet, put it back in the refrigerator, how long?
3-4 days, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And you'll taste it and you'll know.
Well, yeah.
You'll taste it and you'll know.
Yes.
Now, the Citron, longer.
Okay.
Brandy infused, and you could go weeks if you
Okay.
needed to. Yeah.
Very good.
But why would you? I mean, I'm just because you could. Why would you do that? But you
Fair
could.
enough.
You could. Now, the Lucky Dog hard cider, that's harder to do because it's effervescent. So usually what you would do, and I should have brought one out for you, but it's like a champagne stopper, and you clamp it down over the top of the bottle, and that will keep the airtight seal and keep the bubbles for you. So lower the temperature will keep the bubbles, and then the correct enclosure.
Not that we would ever have any extra like
No.
bubbly, but
No.
I do happen to have a stopper. So
Well,
very good.
listen, I know everybody's having they've got a lot going on in their lives. To spend 30 or 40 minutes with us, even only my mom wants to spend that much time with me. So, but
And she is.
Yeah, which she is. My mom is here tonight. But we're so very glad to be able to do this.
Thank you very
And
much
look,
for
we
joining
did
us.
it. We did it. We were only a couple minutes late even.
Yeah. Say very good. Yeah. So good deal. Carmen coming when she's back in Kansas.
Let's do it.
I will hold you to that.
And you girls especially, I'd love to have you come and participate in grape harvest next year. Now you kind of get the drift more of what we do, and think about that, being able to come and help harvest the grapes and to know
that would be cool.
Yeah, you had a hand in putting this particular wine together.
So do you have people that
Oh
come and help
yes,
them?
yeah. We really focus on kind of the more like an old school traditional European grape harvest. We couldn't do it without our friends and coming in, and the faithful, our wine club members coming in and helping.
Oh, cool.
And then we celebrate with wine and lunch in the vines to thank them for bringing the fruit in. And, just as you're about to, we start in the morning, maybe 8:30 or 9, and we work for a couple hours. Then we bring the fruit back down over the hill. And by that point, lunch is up and going. It's maybe 11:30, 11:45. We have a great lunch, and you're headed home by 1 or 1:30.
Okay. So we'll have to get information from
Let's
you
do it
before that comes around
Yeah.
next time, and
We can do it.
all right.
And
Very
we
good.
only tried 6 wines, and some of you got 4. So what we can do, we could do this again in a few months. Like, I think, the world will get better. We just don't know what day. So if we need to do this and we need another social outlet, maybe in November, because
that would be great.
before the holidays get going, we could pick some other wines and we could do it again. And we might not be sitting outside, but we'll make it really pretty in the background. And yeah,
Very good.
it'll be
Yeah.
good.
So thank you for everybody that joined us here and online. And next time, so let me put this up really quick. In 2 weeks, oh, wrong one. Technology. In 2 weeks, Angie Eckenroth is going to be joining us talking about meditation, another way to relax and enjoy things, kind of like we're doing tonight, just in a different way. So be watching for that. But thank you very much
It's
for
my
everything.
pleasure, and thanks to everybody for coming out. We're so glad to have you here. Got to get more people out in the vineyard. That's what we do.
Very good. All right.
Cheers to you guys. Everyone, be safe out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.